So what are the mitzvahs of Purim? So first of all, great. So as Rabbi was saying, and as you guys were all learning before, the story of Purim starts off with Haman saying to King, here's one of those bad translations of his name, but King Achashverosh, there is one people spread about and internally separated amongst the nations of this realm. So one of the negative things that he's trying to bring out, or at least that the rabbis learn, was an opening for attack within the Jewish people, as Rabbi Garfinkel said, was our lack of unity, which is why later on in the Megillah, when the Jewish people are saved, Megillah says that Esther and the rabbis instituted this as a holiday. They were to observe them as days of feasting and happiness and as an occasion for sending meals to one another and presents to the poor. The way we are going to celebrate this holiday is by doing things that are going to be bringing about unity and connection, and that's what we're going to be seeing as we break down the mitzvahs of the day. So what are the mitzvahs of the day? If you're going to have a checklist of the things that you should get done during Purim, here it is. You have the checklist right in front of you. So what are these cute little Purim stuff over here? Starting with number one, the Megillah. So there is a mitzvah to either read or, for most of us here, the Megillah read, and that needs to be done by a proper scroll, with a proper scroll, in the proper way, just like reading of the Torah at shul. And if you're in the West Rogers Park area, there are a ton of these, both Purim night and Purim day. If you are anywhere else in the city, Chabad is an incredible resource in all the different neighborhoods. There is inevitably going to be Megillah reading opportunities both Saturday night and Sunday morning, and potentially throughout the day. At your, just go on to the various Chabad websites and all the different neighborhoods.
It's every hour on the hour, literally.
Right, that's in West Rogers Park. On the end of my block, there's every single hour. If there's interest, we can do also right before the Purim party at the Broners. I can read the Megillah for anyone who did not have a chance earlier. So that is as far as the Megillah reading. This is the only one of the four that repeats itself. It's both Saturday night, meaning the night of Purim Eve, and the next morning or at any point throughout the day. So you want to get both of those in. Beyond that, the next one, okay, we put a check on that. So the next one is the Purim Seuda. Now, hopefully, you will all make it to the Broners. It's going to look even more impressive than this table right here. Hard to believe. A component of this Seuda, this Purim meal, is, yes, there's going to be incredible meat and festivities. You can also see there's a tantalizing bottle of wine right there on the table. Fine wine. This isn't your your kiddush wine. This is good stuff over here. So that has to do with the deeper meaning of what Purim's all about. Purim is about the hidden miracles. It's about Hashem stepping in and saving us, not through splitting the sea or 10 plagues or even miracles like the candles and the Hanukkah story. Everything in the Purim story is, moving along in like the most natural way possible. There's no miracles, nothing. The greatest miracle is that hidden hand that's orchestrating everything and moving everything along. And that's the hiddenness. Purim is about revealing the hiddenness. Esther's name actually in Hebrew is from the root of the word hidden, because that's really what Purim is all about. It's revealing the hidden miracles and the hidden good and godliness everywhere. And we like to do that with the world around us, and we also like to do that within ourselves. So you're supposed to drink more than regular, which doesn't mean that you're unconscious in an alley somewhere outside of our Shabbos meal. What it actually means is that you are opening yourself to reveal that hidden goodness within you that sometimes you're a little bit embarrassed to bring out or whatever it is. And in the Purim party with having this wine, so again, that's why Rabbi keeps on saying the Purim meal is not a disco party, because the drinking that happens at disco party is very, very different than what you will all hopefully see at the Broners on Purim day. Yes?
So you're supposed to put Megillah on Saturday and Sunday, but like for the other stuff of giving charity and giving Shulchan Massive, like you only need to do the Shulchan Massive if you're supposed to give to charity, not
That's a great question. The Talmud learns it out from the wording in the Megillah. When we get to the next ones, we'll see that with the money and stuff like that, meaning they're all aimed for the day, but when you can actually go through the motions of doing it differs from one to the next. But you're right that the Megillah reading is unique in that it happens twice. So that's as far as the Purim party is concerned. You can see a little bit of what's going on in the background here. That's more of a sense of what's happening at the Roners, though the background is from Google Images and has nothing to do with the Roners. Anyways, let's get another check right there. Beautiful. So now the next two are the Mishloach Manos, which is the gift packages that we're bringing from one to another. The way the gift packages work is that you want to have at least one person that you're giving one of these gift packages to, and within that gift package you want to have at least two different types of foods, which means that having a package with 2 cookies is called having one food type in your package. You want to have a cookie and something else. What was that? A cookie and an apple, or a cookie and a roll, but you can go even more lavish than that and stick in whatever you have over here. People like to be creative and do lots of things, but the main point is that you are strengthening your connections with people around you, and you are increasing this love and connection within the Jewish people. So, some people go all out and they'll give to 60 or 70 different people. Some people will keep it, but the basic that you want to do, if you don't live near people, other Jews, and you can bring something with you to West Arches Park, and at the Purim meal, just hand something to someone else, and you fulfilled that mitzvah of mishloach manot, of these gift packages. You'll hear people say sometimes that you need to have 2 different blessings in the foods inside the mishloach manot, like a drink has a shehakol blessing and a cookie has a mizonot blessing, and people get confused sometimes and they say that's what you need. It's a system that some people gave their kids to help them figure out there needs to be 2 different types of food, but that's really all it needs to be, so don't worry about that. And if anyone tells you that, just smile politely and just give 2 types of food. So that's with the gift packages. We'll get a cross that off right there. We are almost done, but last but not least, the commentaries say this is the most important mitzvah of the mitzvot of Purim, and that is giving money to the poor. And with the gift packages, it's a little confusing. Gift packages, you want it to have at least 2 types of food to one person. Here you want to have giving the portion of 1 meal to 2 people. So gift was 1 person, 2 things. This is 1 thing, 2 people. So at a minimum, what you want to be giving is the cost of a basic meal for a poor person, for 2 different poor people. Basic meal at a minimum is, whatever it costs to get a kosher slice of pizza and a drink. But the commentaries say that, as the more the merrier, obviously. And this is something that should be a focus of Purim, is helping out the weaker parts of the community, those in need, and making sure that they have money. So the giving itself does not need to happen on Purim, meaning as far as you're concerned, you don't need to seek out someone in need on Purim itself. You can do that transfer to a rabbi or an organization that's going to distribute it for you on Purim. It's actually better if you take care of that before Purim, so that the money can get to the people in need on Purim itself, and they'll still have a chance to use it on Purim. So a resource for that, you can message either Project 613 rabbis. Great.
A link ready to go.
Amazing.
To a local synagogue, people need. I'm very happy if anyone wants to know where you're. So let's make it real. In other words, is it a meal? I've heard as low as $5 a meal, so $10 would be the minimum.
Right. So to get a minimum meal for 2 people in need, that would be a minimum of $10. Again, the more the merrier, but you want to at least get that in that $10. 5 for you. So the point I was making was that it's actually better to take care of it the week leading up, so that the rabbi who's distributing it can get it to the poor person first thing on Purim, so that he can then go out, have plenty of time to take advantage of those funds on Purim. So that was the 4th, as far as these 4 boxes that you want to check by the time, hopefully by Purim morning, But you can still get the Megillah in at any point, and then the Purim party is going to be later on in the day. But by the end of Purim, you want to have checked all these 4 boxes. There's a lot of distractions going on in Purim. This is where the focus needs to be, checking these 4 boxes. Speaking of distractions, there is more to Purim, and that is everyone's favorite, the Purim costumes. People call it the Jewish Halloween, which is obviously offensive considering we've been doing this for so many years before Halloween first came on the scene. And while people can be hard-pressed to come up with reasons why one may put on costumes on Halloween, at least, it's hard to explain non-morbid costumes on Halloween. Purim, the idea is that same idea of the wine of bringing out this inner beauty, this inner goodness. So much of the world around us is really just a facade, and the Purim story is meant to tear away that facade and to show us that behind everything there's really God running the world, and things aren't the way they seem, and the different actors and players in your life aren't really the way they seem. So putting on a mask, putting on a costume is this reminder that really so much of what we have around us is a costume, and in Purim we want to reveal the hidden truth. There's also the element of vanahafohu, where everything turned upside down. That's why some costumes can follow that theme of like things being upside down. Here's one costume I saw in the neighborhood where you have a king and a queen and a prince, and then you have the royal butlers, the servants, right? So that's this idea where this, it's like, oh, it's upside down because really you guys.
Totally not upside down.
But that's the idea, is that Purim is revealing that secret, that this is actually the truth and everything else was a facade. Similar cute costumes that I've seen around was last year when we had an early delivery with my baby. You can't really see him right here. And this is actually our Honda Odyssey in a costume. This is really impressive. Michael, you impressed? And then this is another one of those upside down things where you have the old man and then the daddy and the mommy and then the kids. So it's a tremendous amount of fun, but this is really a custom. It's a beautiful, important custom with a lot of deep significance, but it's not one of the 4 boxes that you need to check for Purim Day. So you don't want to let this distract you from the important things, but this is a great custom and a lot of fun. Now the final slide is probably the most important slide, even though we've had so many important slides here, because this slide has an important call to action, okay? Here it is. You can take out your phone and scan right there, and we'd love to see you all at the Broners. I believe so, yes. So if they're... so it's going to be a ton of fun.
John, you're also in there.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
John got in there.
once in the costumes.
Rabbi, you also got in there.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have put it on the screen. Anyways, that's a brief overview of Purim, and looking forward to seeing you there.
Thank you, Rabbi Marcus.